When we speak of stress, we are speaking of the weight the mind carries, the burdens of a world that is always asking us to be more, to do more, to become something we are not yet. But when you sit here, in this moment, you realize that nothing else is demanded of you. You are enough in your stillness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." In this moment, we rest within that truth. Stress is the friction between what is and what we wish it to be. Anxiety is the echo of tomorrow ringing in the mind of today. Yet both are illusions, ripples on the surface of the deeper ocean of your being. That ocean is calm, infinite, and untouched. Lao Tzu reminded us, "Be still." Stillness reveals the secrets of eternity. And so we enter stillness, not as an escape, but as a return. Let each word that enters your awareness be like a stone sinking into a quiet lake, sending out ripples of calm. You are not here to solve, not here to plan, not here to fix. You are simply here to be in this moment. The tension you carry is only the memory of yesterday and the anticipation of tomorrow. The poet Rumi once said, "Try to accept the changing seasons of your heart, even if they cause you pain." Stress is the resistance to change. Anxiety is the resistance to uncertainty. But when you soften into acceptance, you discover that the unknown does not need to be feared. It is simply a doorway, opening into new possibilities. Imagine yourself as the open sky. Thoughts pass like clouds, stress like storms, anxiety like winds that come and go. But the sky remains. You are that sky, endless, untouched, infinite. Clouds never stain the sky, and stress never stains the truth of who you are. There is no need to chase peace, for it is not running away. Peace is already here. It is what remains when striving stops. As Net Achen wrote, "Smile, breathe, and go slowly." The smile is not forced. It is the recognition that nothing has been lost, nothing has been taken. Your true self has always been whole. The worries of life are like waves upon the shore. They rise, they fall, they dissolve. Yet the shore remains. And you, in your essence, are like that shore, steady, ancient, unmoved. Anxiety may whisper of dangers ahead, but the present moment offers safety, clarity, and quiet. The mind is restless, always reaching, always calculating. But the heart knows another rhythm, a rhythm of surrender, a rhythm of simply allowing life to flow. Seneca once observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How much of your stress lives only in thought? How much of your anxiety is a shadow of something that has not yet arrived? And yet, here you are, safe in this moment, untouched by those shadows. When you return to this realization, stress loses its grip, because stress cannot live in the present. It belongs only to what has passed and what is not yet. You may notice the tension in your body, the weight in your chest, the tightness in your shoulders. These are echoes of thought turned into form. But the body, too, longs for rest. And when the mind grows quiet, the body follows. Let the muscles of thought soften, and the body will soften with it. Imagine you are sitting at the edge of a vast, calm ocean. The waves are gentle, the horizon endless. This ocean is your inner peace. Stress may ripple on its surface, but deep below, the waters remain undisturbed. You are not the ripple, you are the depth. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." When we seek peace outside ourselves, we are led deeper into striving. But when we turn inward, we find that peace has never left us. It has only been covered by layers of thought, by storms of worry. Every moment is a chance to release. Every moment is a chance to let go. Anxiety tells you to hold tighter, to control more, to predict the unpredictable. But life is not meant to be controlled. It is meant to be experienced. When you let go, you are not losing. You are returning to freedom. Imagine stress as a clenched fist, tight and rigid. And imagine peace as an open hand, relaxed and soft. Which one feels more natural? Which one feels like home? The philosopher Alan Watts once said, "Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone." When you stop stirring the waters of the mind, they become clear on their own. Clarity does not come through effort, but through release. The universe has carried you this far. It has breathed for you when you were not aware. It has healed wounds, closed scars, carried you through nights you thought you could not survive. And it will continue to carry you. You are not alone in this. You never were. Stress tells a story of separation. You against the world. You against time. You against yourself. But the deeper truth is unity. You are not separate from the flow of life. You are the flow. You are not separate from time. You are the timeless awareness through which time is seen. As the poet Kabir once said, "Wherever you are is the entry point. You do not need to wait for a perfect moment to be free. You do not need to solve every problem before peace can arrive. Peace is here, waiting for you in the very moment you remember it." Notice how the mind wants to return to the familiar worries. But you are not the mind. You are the one who watches the mind. You are the witness, untouched, eternal. Stress cannot reach the witness. Anxiety cannot shake the witness. The witness is vast, quiet, infinite. When you release stress, you do not lose control. You gain freedom. When you release anxiety, you do not abandon responsibility. You awaken to a deeper intelligence, one that acts without fear. Life is not a problem to be solved. Life is a mystery to be lived. As Osho once said, don't seek, don't search, don't ask, don't knock, don't demand, relax. In relaxation, everything comes. In relaxation, the truth appears. Imagine now that everything you have ever worried about is like sand slipping through your fingers. You cannot hold it, no matter how tightly you try. But when you open your hand, you realize you do not need to hold it. The sand belongs to the earth. The worries belong to the wind. They were never truly yours. There is a quiet strength in surrender, a strength that does not resist, but allows. When you flow with life, stress has no foothold. Anxiety has no anchor. The Greek philosopher Epictetus wrote, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." The stress you feel is not born from the world itself, but from the lens through which you see it. Change the lens, and the world softens. And so, with each passing moment, you soften too. The sharp edges of thought grow smooth. The tightness of fear unravels. You sink deeper into the present, where nothing is missing and nothing is broken. When the storm of the mind settles, you discover a vast silence. That silence is not empty. It is full of peace, full of presence, full of love. It is the silence of your truest self, always here, always waiting, always free. And in this silence, you remember, stress is not who you are. Anxiety is not who you are. You are the stillness behind it all. There is a moment when you realize that what you fear is not the world itself, but the stories you tell about the world. Anxiety is born in the imagination, in the mind's projection of what might be. But life is never what might be. It is always what is, and what is, in this moment, is simply presence. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." How many of your worries never came to pass? How much of your suffering was only an echo of possibility? To return to peace is to recognize that imagination is a gift, but it is not truth. Stress insists you must prepare for everything, as though life were a battlefield. But what if life is not a battle? What if it is a river? The river does not prepare for the stone. It flows around it. It does not resist the bend. It embraces it. In the same way, you are invited to flow. The Tao Te Ching reminds us, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need." Anxiety clings, stress resists, but peace is found in the art of letting go. Imagine your worries as autumn leaves falling gently into a stream. One by one, they are carried away, drifting out of sight. You do not need to chase them. You do not need to hold them. They move on their own, for time itself carries them away. When you look closely, you may notice that anxiety is often just energy without direction. Like wind rushing through the branches, it shakes, but it cannot break. When you stop resisting the wind, you hear its song. Stress and anxiety also have a song. They remind you of what you are holding too tightly. When you loosen your grip, the song softens. Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Stress diminishes when you reconnect to your deeper why. Not the small goals and surface desires, but the great why of existence itself. Why are you here? To live, to experience, to awaken, to love. Every time you allow yourself to rest, you honor life's deeper purpose. You honor your own being. For what is the use of constant striving if it blinds you to the beauty of being alive right now? Picture yourself standing in a wide open meadow at dawn. The grass is wet with dew, the horizon glowing with light. This meadow exists within you, a space of openness, renewal, quiet clarity. Stress is like fog that passes over it, but fog never lasts. Soon the meadow shines again. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Not money, not possessions, not achievements, not the approval of others. Peace is not found in the hands of the world. It is found in the depth of your own soul." Stress can be a teacher. Anxiety can be a messenger. They whisper, "Slow down, listen, return." For when you are aligned with your true self, peace is your natural state. Alan Watts observed, "The more a thing tends to be permanent, the more it tends to be lifeless." Life itself is impermanence. Stress comes from wishing things would stay the same. Anxiety comes from fearing they will not. But impermanence is not your enemy. It is the very rhythm of life. Change is what keeps the river flowing, the stars burning, the heart beating. The Japanese poet Basho said, "Sitting quietly, doing nothing, spring comes, and the grass grows by itself." You do not need to make peace grow. You do not need to force calm into being. Peace arises naturally when you create space for it. The grass grows by itself. The heart heals by itself. The soul remembers by itself. When you surrender to the present, the need to control dissolves, and with it, stress dissolves. Imagine walking through a forest. The air is cool. The leaves whisper in the breeze. You hear the sound of water flowing nearby. Each step you take is steady, unhurried, grounded. In this forest, you feel no rush, no burden. Time stretches, becomes irrelevant. The forest accepts you as you are. No demands, no expectations. This is how life accepts you if you let it. That place is your sanctuary. It is untouched by the chaos of the world. It waits patiently for you to remember it. You are not your stress. You are not your anxiety. These are passing states, like weather across the sky. Do not confuse the clouds with the sky. The sky is vast, boundless, unchanged. You are that sky. Think of all the times in your life when you thought you would not endure, and yet you did. Every storm passed. Every night gave way to morning. And here you are, still breathing, still alive, still capable of joy. This is proof. Stress is not permanent. Anxiety is not eternal. They pass, always, they pass. The great sage, Ramana Maharshi, said, "Peace is your natural state. It is not to be attained. What is necessary is that you give up being disturbed." Peace is not a mountain you must climb. It is the ground you already stand upon. You do not need to chase peace. You only need to stop running from yourself. Picture stress as a rope you've been pulling, tugging against life itself. Notice how tired your hands are, how strained your arms feel. What happens if you simply let go of the rope? The tension vanishes, the struggle ends, the rope falls away, and you are free. The mind insists you must hold on, but freedom is always found in release. As the Bhagavad Gita reminds us, yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Anxiety pulls you outward into the future. Stress pulls you backward into the past. But the journey inward dissolves them both, leading you back to the self that is always here. Rumi said, "Try to accept changing seasons of your heart. The heart has its winters and its springs, its storms and its blossoms. Anxiety is just winter passing through. Stress is just rain, falling and fading. Beneath it all, the roots of your soul remain strong. You are more than your circumstances. You are more than your thoughts. You are more than your fears. You are awareness itself, spacious, infinite, eternal." When you truly see this, stress loses its power. Anxiety becomes only a shadow on the wall of a brightly lit room. You no longer chase it, no longer fear it. You watch it pass, and in that watching, you are free. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you in any way, please consider subscribing. See you in the next video.